Hello, hello, everybody. Um, Welcome to this live. Welcome to this channel. Here today, we will explore ways that we can use AI tools to learn and master new languages. As you know, um, there are several factors that might suggest that learning a language is no longer a cool things to do. A cool thing to do. Um, One, for example, is the fact that English has become a dominant language of commerce and of work, and most countries have the ability to have a translator or to provide you information you need in English, regardless of the language of that country. That being said, um, it's still important to learn different languages because it allows you to communicate with different people. Um, an adage says that speak to me in a regular language and you speak to my brain. Speak to me in my language and you speak to my heart. And without further ado, we'll dive right into it. So, today we're going to use AI tools. Pick yours. Um, I'm just going to show you an example, a couple of examples using ChatGPT and using um, a Microsoft Copilot. So here's what we do. So in this tab, I have here the possibility of using um, Copilot as well as ChatGPT. Let's start with ChatGPT. I'm going to open a new prompt, a new window. Make it a little bigger so you can see. I like the full model. So in chat. And here I'm going to say apt. What you have to know is prompt engineering or how to make a prompt is a good aspect of this. Today I'm going to say give me. So we're going to start with Spanish. I know a little bit about Spanish. Hablo español un poco, pero necesito más aprender y más practicar. Ahora um, haremos español con ChatGPT the Microsoft Copilot. So, but the language um, from which we springboard is English. I'm fluent in English and French, and I'm learning Spanish and German as we speak. So, uh, if you stop by and would like to drop a comment, feel free to drop a comment in English or in French, or even in Spanish or in German. Doesn't matter. We will get to it. So, I will ask ChatGPT, give me the 20 most common verbs in Spanish. And so it's searching. There we got the 20 most common verbs in Spanish. As you can imagine, we have ser, which is to be, estar, which is also to be. Estar is different from ser in that ser is a little more uh, permanent, whereas estar is a little more transient. So, for example, you would say um, estoy en escuela, which is I am in school. It's a little transient. But if you would say um, yo soy un, how you say I am a man or I am a woman? Say yo soy or soy um, un hombre. Or, or if you're a woman, you say soy un, how do you say? So this is exactly what you do. You practice and you speak and you try to be fluent. Man in Spanish. Just to clarify, so this is an example. So ChatGPT will tell you Spanish is hombre, el hombre. So that's exactly what I said. I doubt it, so I use ChatGPT to confirm. And that's what you can do. You can say, so you can use, and if they're all fluent, and people whose first languages is Spanish, in in the comment section, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. The main purpose of this is to learn together, to create an interactive platform where we can get together and learn and talk and learn different languages to be able to enjoy all those benefits that come with a a polylingual mind. So you have tener, which is to have. We have hacer, to do, to make. We have poder, which is to be able to, uh, if you can. We will conjugate these verbs in the basic tenses. We'll go the present, the past, the future, and we'll form sentences with them so we can get a little more confident with how this language flows. Especially, so today we're talking about Spanish. So to decir is to tell or to say. Ir is to go. Ver is to see. Dar to give. Saber to know. Querer to want. It's kind of, it almost sounds like query. Like when you query someone, you you ask for information, you ask for something you want. So llegar to arrive, pasar to pass or something that happened, You know, for some of you who are French speakers or some of the speakers of other, a lot of these verbs have sounds that are similar to what you're used to. So, for example, I am fluent French speaker. So when I see saber, to know, it's almost like savoir, connaître, savoir, which is also to know in French. Uh, Llegar, it's important to know how to pronounce words. In the Spanish, when there are, it's almost like a ja, ja. It's a heavy. It's llegar or llegar. Pasar, to pass. Deber, to have to. Uh, like if you speak French, the devoir is like a duty. So deber is to have to. Uh, Poner, a place, to place, is to seem like, to look like. It's similar to the French paraître, but when you conjugate paraître, it's almost like paraître. So if you say, if I want to tell somebody, uh, you seem like you're having a good day, I'd say, vous paraissez avoir une bonne journée, something like that. So paraître to seem like. And this is how you do all you can to associate whatever you learn to things so you can remember them and make them a little more dynamic in your mind. So, number 17, we have cuidar, which is to stay or to remain. So, like if you, so I can already tell someone, stay calm. Uh, Something like, cuide su calma. I don't know. We'll learn. But you can already start to imagine what the conjugation would look like because you know the word, that's a big part of it, you know. You know the verb, that's a big part of it. Creer is to believe, you know, like the creed, to believe. Hablar is to speak. I think one of the most famous sentences most people should know is hablo español. It's like, do you speak English? Or no hablo español. I don't speak English. So now the 20th most common verb in Spanish is llevar, to carry, to wear. So this prompt is generated from the idea that there's a certain number of verbs and words that if you master, you can carry out 75% of the conversation. Now, whether that number, that vocabulary number is 20 or 200, there are a certain number of words that are most common, that are so common that they can take you through 5% or 80% of the conversation in the language. And so, if somebody was wanting to be fluent as fast as possible, it would behoove them to seek out that vocabulary, to master it, to seek out um, the proper way to conjugate a certain number of verbs so you can make sentences that are grammatically correct, and then you'll be on your way to speaking. And then from there on, you can only go deeper and get better, but at least you will achieve a good level of fluency. So, this is one way of learning languages. Let's keep this way for today's live stream, and let's dig deeper with this. So, I will ask ChatGPT, conjugate these verbs to the present, to the simple present tense, the simple past tense, and the simple future tense. And as we learn these verbs, we will interject with sentences, um, make it a little more memorable. Right here, ChatGPT has decided to just do the seven first. So we could leave it alone, or we could insist. Finish the list. We could insist, finish the list. And so it will generate all the way to 19. And then we could insist again. Finish the list. And then it should be able to generate the 20th. All right. So let's go back to the first and then to give. No, that's not the first. The first is to be. To be. Yo soy. Yo soy. Huh? Yo soy. I am. So this, remember, this is more prominent. Yo soy. It seems like it skipped a star, but let's say, um, what is your profession? If you're an accountant, you say yo soy un, and then I'll use ChatGPT again. You can trick it to however you want. You can run with me, because guess what? It's fun. Run with me. It's fun. So an accountant is a contador, or if you're a woman, it's a contadora. So now, guess what? You already mastered a word. So yo soy un contador, or si es un, how do you say woman? Woman in Spanish? What is it? A woman in Spanish. I don't know. Mujer. Oh, I knew. Mujer. I used to be able to say la mujer, the woman of my life. So you can say, yo soy un contador, or if you're a woman, you say yo soy una contadora. Now, say you used to be a student and now you work, you would say yo fui un estudiante, pero pero means however or but. Yo fui un estudiante, pero estoy, pero yo soy, um, now, ahora, pero yo soy ahora un contador. And then if you plan to become an entrepreneur and have your own company, you say Yo fui un estudiante, yo soy ahora un cantador y en el futuro yo seré, yo seré un, el presidente de mi compañía, something like that. See, when you're learning a new language, be free to express yourself and just keep going. The idea of practicing like this with ChatGPT is to make you a little more comfortable when you meet your speakers, so you can speak a little more fluidly, so they can once in a while correct you. Now, this does not negate any extra work you do to learn, it just makes it better. For example, there's no learning a language if you do not want to read, if you do not want to master the vocabulary, master some of the grammar at least to start with. Okay, so now let's go to tener, to have. What do you have in your wallet? Which I'm not doing the publicity of any credit card company, but one of them used to say, "What do you have in your wallet?" To say, "Hey, get our credit card," and you could say, "Now I happen to know how you conjugate the verb tener a little more involved than the first person of the singular. So what do you have in your wallet? Que tienes?" And to I don't know what that is, but I don't want to you know Google every single word. What I'm trying to do here is to have some flow. And you have to realize that learning a language doesn't mean getting everything perfect all the time. It's just keep going. Just keep going. So, que tienes? And to, we can say wallet. Um, Now, in the first person of the singular, it's tengo. It's kind of like tango, but it's not. It's tengo. Now, it's a yo tengo. Mhm. Now, if I have que tienes into wallet, and then you're going to answer, you say, yo tengo $1,000. I have $1,000. Or si es de México, dice, yo tengo 1,000 pesos. O 10,000 pesos. 10,000 pesos. Now, this, if you want to say in the past, it's like, right, ahora tienes, ahora tengo 10,000 pesos. I have 10,000 pesos, pero yo tuve, I had, uh, solo 1,000 pesos, but I only had 1,000 pesos. And mañana, which is tomorrow or morning or in the morning, y mañana yo tendré, see that? Yo tendré um, 50,000 pesos. So if you want to speak positive in your life, you can do so in Spanish as well. Isn't that fun? Hacer, hacer. So you go, yo tendré. Yo tengo, yo tuve, yo tendré. See that? That works. The third is hacer. Yo hago, yo hago. Yeah, that's important. That's interesting. To do, to make a cake, to do my homework. Yo hago mi de casa. I'm translating literally every single word, but I'm trying to master the words or the verbs. Yo hago mi trabajo de casa, homework, literally, literal translation. If you are a fluent Spanish speaking, help us in the comment section and drop something. But in the past, it's like, I, I did my homework. Yo hice mi trabajo de casa. But if you will do your homework or if you will clean the dishes, see, yo haré, yo haré, the future. I will do it in an hour. Yo haré mi trabajo en una hora. Ir, ir, to go, to voy. Ir. It's almost like like a voyage. Huh? A voyage is it's an English word, but it's borrowed from French, and it means exactly the same thing: to travel. So ir to yo voy, yo voy en el trabajo, yo voy en el trabajo. I go to work. I'm going to work. I went to work. I went to work. The boss says, "Oh, where were you today?" So I went home. Yo fui a mi casa porque mi esposa no se sentir bien. That's correct, but I don't care. I'm trying to be fluent. I don't care at this moment, should I say. I do care to be correct as much as possible, but in this moment, eh, yo fui, and then I will go. You have any plans for your vacation or PTO coming up? Yo iré en Francia. I will go to France. Yo iré a Italia. Yo iré a Cabo, in Mexico. You know. Yo iré a Washington D.C. Now, when you go to Washington D.C., what will you see? You say, "Cuando?" That's when. Cuando yo iré a Washington D.C. Yo necesito. I will need to. Yo necesito. Veo um, las bibliotecas públicas. I want to see the public libraries. Yo necesito, veo, I will need to see uh, las monumentas de las monumentas. I want to see the monuments. Now, when you come back, they ask you, what did you see? Huh? And then, just so you know, if you want to ask somebody a question, because asking a question implies you're speaking to somebody and using the second person of the singular, all the plural. You know, you say que ves, que ves. They will say que ves in Washington D.C. They will answer you, yo vi, I saw las monumentas, yo vi las monumentas, yo vi las uh, bi- bibliotecas públicas. Pero, and then he will say, pero estoy mucho feliz para, para te, te ver, te ver, but I am very happy to see you again. Forgot what again is. So these are just some examples. Move on, you can move on, and then you can practice again, or next time you can log in and so we can have a conversation together. Until then, have a good one. Thank you. Stay safe and keep learning languages. It's fun and it's still cool. Subscribe if you're new here, leave a like, a comment, and have a good one.